Hey everybody, Dave Zabriskie here with the last wrestling mindset exercise of the wrestling season. So as the college wrestlers get into their conference, moving on to NCAAs, a lot of states are going, or a lot of individual states are getting into the last two parts of their season, whether it's a regional or if they're at their state tournament this weekend. So tonight's exercise is geared for that. So the objective is to try to stay in the present moment and avoiding hype and fan mentality, right? So as an athlete, there's really one thing that you want to focus on, and that's just you, like just the athletic part of things. For a high school wrestler, for a college wrestler, you've got a very short window in order to accomplish your goals. You have the rest of your life to be a fan, and I mean that's one thing that can't be said enough, right? So you want to try to push out those fan things, those things that take up your time. I mean, they can be entertaining, but they take up your time. They're not making you a better athlete. They're not making you a better wrestler. The only thing they're possibly going to do is put a little bit more pressure on yourself, or just give you some negative energy. So, things that we want to be trying to avoid, like the hype and the fan mentality, is going to be the importance of competition, right? We're heading into conferences, we're heading into states, we're heading into nationals. These are the same guys that we wrestle all year, so it's not really too different. So there shouldn't be any hype about that, right? Maybe it's going to be the first time this year we're competing in front of a big crowd, but still, we're still on a mat. That's it. Other fan mentalities, they start looking into streaks, so win streaks, losing streaks. They start looking at previous matches. They start looking at records, become a big thing. Predictions, rankings. There's individual articles and stories about certain wrestlers. So there's a lot of things going on, and we just want to try to be able to leave that up to the fans. That's their part. They're there to be entertained. Let them engage in that stuff. And then when we're finally done competing, great. You can be a part of that too. You can even check it out after the season, right? It's always nice to, you can go back if you want to. You can listen to all the podcasts. You can go on and read all the articles and check out their predictions, and you can laugh when you've proved them wrong. But with that said, it's hard to avoid those things. So there's always going to be fan mentality that we engage in. And the first thing that we have to do in order to try to avoid it is to kind of be able to write down and see the things that we actually engage in, right? Are we trying to predict our brackets? Are we trying to see who we're going to have here, who we're going to have first round, second round, quarters, semis, and the finals, right? We all do those things, but there's not a whole lot of brackets that kind of go seed for seed and everything pans out the way it's supposed to be. It rarely happens. So again, it's another fan mentality. It's going to be something that we want to try to avoid. We just want to focus on our next match, right? The one that's right in front of us. So if we win that one, we'll have another opponent, right? So they'll be, we just want to be ready for that each time. Other fan mentalities are going to be rankings and seeds going in, right? If we're the number one seed, great. We better wrestle like we're the number one seed, though. We can't expect people to back down. If we're not seeded, wrestle like you're the number one seed still. It doesn't matter. That's someone else's opinion. It's based off of their performance in the season, but what's that? What does that really mean? It's not going to change anything for the match if you're going to wrestle the number one seed or the number 8 seed. You're still going to have to wrestle these guys at some point in time. So we shouldn't really have any fear in being able to go out there and compete. In fact, we should be motivated to try to go out there and actually, be able to prove to ourselves that we're able to compete and we're able to beat these people, right? That's the whole point of wrestling the tournament. So there's countless other fan mentalities that we probably engage in. So, it can be hard to avoid the articles, especially with being on Facebook like we are now, right? I mean, like, things are going to pop up on our feed. Like, things are going to be unavoidable. And that's kind of what we get into the next part of this is even if we do a good job of avoiding fan mentality that we engage in and that hype, there's still going to be things that are unavoidable, right? So there's going to be things that pop up on your Facebook wall. There's going to be things that like your friends say to you. There's going to be things that your teammates say to you, maybe even your coaches, right? So anything with those, like, we want to kind of come up with a pre-planned way on how we're going to respond so they don't take us by surprise. And I mean, like just having a pre-planned way is just a great way where, great, like, we can take an interview question and we can shrug it off because we know how we want to respond. We know how we want to feel. So again, kind of, I mean, any of those hypes around us, right? I mean, like, if something pops up on our Facebook, on our Twitter, on our Instagram, I mean, that's gonna, I don't know, like give us some nerves. Maybe it's best that we just step off of social media and go dark for a week or two, right? Just to kind of completely avoid those things. There's a lot of things we can do. I mean, like, when our friends ask us about certain opponents and they start, again, getting in the fan side of things, like, they're excited for you, but I mean, like, it's still up to you to go out there and be the best athlete that you can be. And that's it. And then, I mean, like, after you're done with high school wrestling, after you're done with college wrestling, you can always go back. You have the rest of your life to be a fan, and great. I mean, like being a fan is awesome, right? But we have so much time in order to do that, and we've got that. In high school, we've got that 4-year window to be the best high school wrestler we can be. In college, we got a 4 or 5-year window to be the best college wrestler we can be. Let's put our time and energy into that, not necessarily the things that the fans are going to do. I mean, great. Like, when we're done, we can go back through, like, we can make our own predictions. We can fill out brackets. We can do all that. And then we can try to figure it out. I mean, that's the fun part about it. That's why people love the sport, is because that's how they get to participate. But as an athlete, you get to participate on the best level of all, and that's just being able to go out there and actually compete. So yeah, that's all I have for you tonight. So I mean, like, the things to kind of take away is just, I mean, like, be able to write down those fan mentalities that you engage in, and really just make an active decision to try to avoid them. And any of those things are going to be, it's just going to be like things that don't necessarily get us any better at wrestling. I mean, that's how we would, I mean, like, it's a wrestling thing, right? But it's not helping us get any better, right? Trying to predict a bracket's not going to make us any more skillful. It's not going to make us work any harder. It's not going to make us any better. So, I mean, like, avoiding things like that, and then coming up with a list of how to, I mean, like, things that we might not be able to avoid, those things that are going to find us, right? The things that are going to pop up on our Facebook feed. Coming up with pre-planned ways on how we're going to deal with those and how we might respond, which might just be with with a premeditated thought, or it might just be completely blacking out our social media for that period of time and just, focusing on the things that we need to do to go out there and compete our best. So that's all I have for tonight. That was a present moment exercise from Wrestling Mindset. So if you want to know more, what you can do is you can go to wrestlingmindset.com and you can sign up for a free one-on-one trial and go from there. So for everybody competing this weekend and next, good luck. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.